Hello, y'all. I'm on this exercise bike once again. So, this video is going to be about the real reason violence happens in families in the home. And the reason I say the real reason, we oftentimes may get tied up and may try to reach out for an understanding of the mental illnesses that's involved, right? Especially cluster B disorders such as narcissism, antisocial personality disorder, and psychopathy, right? Which basically the person would be a psychopath, right? But sometimes we forget the simple things, right? So, one of the things that usually is a part of violence is a form of isolation of some sort. So, me experiencing some of these dynamics in my past, I have a clear understanding of more in depth of really why it happens. It's not just because of the mental illness, y'all. And let me explain what I mean by this, right? For example, a long term situation that I was in where there was emotional abuse and some on and off physical abuse throughout the years. More than one situation. And I'm just going to be honest with you, y'all. We always want to talk about the mental illness. Okay, yes, they were narcissists. Yes, they were psychopaths. Yes, they were sociopaths. But this is the real reason. Real reason. And this is going to be for men and women. I'm going to start out with giving you an example for the woman, and then I'm going to go into an example of why it happens for the man, right? And remember, I do real life examples here. So this is why it happens. For a woman that's in an abusive situation, whether it be her uncle is abusing her son is abusing her husband is abusing her, a boyfriend's abusing her, a neighbor is abusing her. The number one reason it's happening is this: that male that's abusing that woman does not consider the males that are currently in that woman's life or that girl's life stronger than they are. That's the real reason. And in my case, my daddy was dead. The man that raised me was dead. So I had a dead father. That's the bottom line. If my father would have been alive, that stuff would not have been happening in the way it happened. Okay? So I hope this makes sense. That's the real reason. My daddy wasn't around with his pistol. Okay? The abusers that I dealt with did not fear me. I was in isolation because I moved to another state and I was away from my family. That's another reason it happens. However, I made it through it. I was tough enough and I'm here today and I made it out of it. Okay? Because my daddy taught me some things and my family taught me some things. Okay? And let's go for the case for the men. Men that are physically abused by women, right? Now, remember, usually the man is stronger than the woman. So I'm going to use the example of the OnlyFans model that ended up murdering her boyfriend or husband, right? And they had this videotape of her abusing him in the elevator. Okay, she almost got off for murdering him because she lied and said he was beating her. Now, in this example, the reason that men are sometimes abused by women is because men are physical. They really admire the beauty that they feel a woman has. So, what happens, in my opinion, the real reason why it happens for men is they're focused more on the beauty of the female without really getting to know her and knowing much about her background. So, say for example, when the man is dating this, what he thinks is a beautiful woman, right? He's so proud and happy to be with her, and he's not asking the people that he meets that she knows what type of background did she have. There's a lot of questions that he probably could have asked even her parents or her relatives or close friends that might have would have brought up red flags. So the real reason it happens for some men is they're more focused on beauty. And also, it happens for men because these are inherently men that don't want to hit on a woman. These are men that actually are gentlemen and they have some respect or a lot of respect. So, like in the elevator part of the video with the OnlyFans model, and this is not a racial thing. I mean, they were different races. However, it doesn't matter. They could have been the same race or different races, and that same incident could have happened. But the bottom line was she was beating the crap out of him in the elevator, ended up murdering him later, almost got away with it until they pulled some of these footages and these video footages back up, right? So just keep this in mind. Let me see if I could think of another one. Because actually, there was a neighbor incident where one of my neighbors was abused. I actually did part 1, 2, and 3 of some videos about men being abused. Actually, come to think about it, I need to check on that neighbor. I have not seen my neighbor gentleman since I saw him beat up. He, well, not beat up, but he was injured. He had scars on his face. Very light complected man with some scars, and his girlfriend, or quote unquote baby mama, or the mother of his daughter or son, whichever one he would have. Yeah, she scratched him up, and I don't know the dynamics of that. I don't know why the violence keeps happening. I mean, it could be a case where he's actually hitting her first. I don't know. But from what he's told myself and my family, he's actually definitely the abuse victim. And I heard some disturbing phone calls of this lady. So it seems as if, looking in from the outside, looking in, that he's the victim. So remember, men and women are both victims. But in that case, let me use the neighbor case as an example. The real reason why it's happening in his case is he has a substance abuse problem. So he's a working man. He's my neighbor. He's functional as far as being able to provide a place and stuff like that. But the real reason it's happening for him is he has a substance abuse problem. And I suspect that the girlfriend that's whooping on him and attacking him and abusing him has a substance abuse issue also, or a severe mental health issue. Okay, and let's go over this. Okay, acts of violence, and family fights. Sometimes there's isolated incidents where there's family disputes, little boxing matches or whatever. There's nobody seriously hurt. Y'all apologize and it doesn't happen again. Sometimes the disputes may happen outdoors, indoors, but those are different. Those are empathetic people having little scuffles, and you have enough empathy where it doesn't happen again. So I hope this helps a whole lot, but these are some of the real reasons that the violence happens. It has nothing to do with the mental disorder. Okay? It has something to do with it, but it's not always the key ingredient. Because you got to remember, back in the day, when your family was hanging around, your husband and wife, and your husband and wife knew that your family was armed, suddenly these mental disorders didn't even exist. You understand? These mental disorders became more prevalent because more people became more vulnerable because their relatives died. They're isolated. Ain't nobody else in the family with a pistol. If this makes sense, let's just get real about it. It ain't just the mental disorder. Now you got some for real maniacs and some nuts, y'all, where none of what I just said will matter because they willing to, if they know you got a gun, they willing to go get a gun and kill your whole family and their girlfriend or boyfriend. So those are exceptional situations, but in general, these are the real reasons that the violence happens. So I hope this helps. I've been on this bike 10 minutes. I love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.